Here we are again with another image. This is a fairly quick one where we'll look at some techniques to get some interesting effects again that you might want to employ for task 3. Now, because this image size is going to be a bit big, it's 4688 on the long side here. I wanted to get it about 2000 pixels on the horizontal. So one way of doing that is to use the crop tool, and instead of is normally set to unconstrained. If I type in here 2000, and I need to put in pixels, otherwise it might think it's centimeters I want to crop this to, and I'll just bring the image in a little bit so it's more of a kind of long image here, and that should do me. And now if I go up to image size, just double check that you can see there it's exactly 2000 pixels on the long side, so that's what we want. And if I go Control 0, it'll fill the screen. I'll just zoom in a little bit further so we can see what's going on. Okay, again I'm going to duplicate that layer, and I'll just bring the layers panel up so you can see what's going on. I'm going to change the blend mode again. This is all about making use of these blend modes, and this one I'm going to make divide, and I'm going to, so the blend is divide, I'm going to give it a blur, and I'm going to go to Gaussian blur again, and yeah, that should do. It's just over 5 pixels. Yep. And we've got to be careful. I don't want to, in fact I might just undo that blur and make it just a little bit less than that. So blur, Gaussian blur, and just drop it back to maybe 4. That should be heaps. Okay, and now I'm going to duplicate that layer again, so I just drag that over the new layer icon, and this one I'm going to change the blending mode. I'll just bring this up so you can see. I'm going to change the blending mode to linear burn, and I'll bring this back in here again, and I'll just zoom in a little bit so you can see what that's done. It's got this kind of interesting effect. If I switch the visibility of those layers off and on, you can see what it's doing there. It's just giving more definition to the darker areas. If I blur that top one again a little bit more, let's just see what effect that has. So I'll just go to, actually to blur this, to use exactly the same filter as last time, I can just go up to Gaussian blur, and it will apply that same filter, and you can see it's and once I've applied a new filter, there is another technique here where you can go to fade the effect of that. So I can actually drop this back slightly and see what that does, and you can see it's not doing an awful lot there. So anyway, that's a technique that you might use down the track. So that was a quick one, and another little method of using blending modes.